Hey, where we going?
Bro, this.
You going there?
Yeah.
Everett, where we going? All right, we got to fire up the beast. We're about to go spend $50. Gift card, birthday. Let's do it. Let's fire up the beast. Hey, 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 hey.
What? What?
What did we get at Bass Pro for 50 bucks? We got some 12-pound copolymer P line. I like the P line. It's 300 yards. It was like $8, I think. Let me see my receipt. Let's see what the receipt says. It was $7.99. So yeah, $8. So I like it. It's good stuff. I like to have either that, or I had some fluorocarbon, and I used it all, and I had to reline my other rod, and I ended up putting mono on it, and the mono floats, so it's harder to get a jig or a worm or something like that down. So I went with a copolymer that doesn't really float. It doesn't really sink either, but it works. It works better. Um, the fluorocarbon is just so dang expensive, and they had some spider wire fluorocarbon. And really, when you looked at the amount you were getting, 200 yards for $8, I wasn't I wasn't sold on the value there. Plus, it just seemed really cheap for fluorocarbon. So I'm going with the fluorocarbon coated monofilament. Um, so yeah, I like the P line. The other thing I got two of these KVD 2.5 square bills in a bluegill pattern. Um, Square bill, bluegill, you can't go wrong with that. Now, in the store, I'm like, wait, do these rattle? Yeah, they rattle. Well, duh, of course they rattle. The hooks are shaking around in there. But take it out of the package and hold the hook still, nothing's rattling. So I'm a little bummed about that. I'm going to go ahead and keep them. I definitely think they'd be better off with something that made a little bit more noise, but this is going to put off a fair amount of vibration, and I think these will be effective at some point. So square bill bluegill pattern, I don't think you can go wrong with that. The other thing I got, by the way, those were what were those? $6.39 a piece. So two of those, and then I got another rod. This is a Pro Comp. It's a Bass Pro 6.6 medium heavy, and I'm taking this, and I'm going to use it in place of this Castaway, this old Castaway worm rod. This one's 6.6, and I believe it feels similar to being medium heavy, but I've lost some fish on it because I haven't really been able to get a solid hook set on it. I wanted something with a little bit more backbone. So this medium heavy is rated for 10 to 20 pound line and 3/8 to 1 ounce baits, whereas this is rated for 8 to 17 pound line, 3/6 and 3/16 to 3/4 ounce baits or lures. So I feel like uh, I'm going to get a little bit better hook set out of this Bass Pro Comp uh, casting rod. Plus, it was only $29. So I really don't think you can find a whole lot better deal than that. So, and I know you. Well, I know you can. I was going to get the Berkley Cherrywood, and that's a pretty cheap rod, $25.99. And I read nothing but good reviews out of that, with the exception of a few bad reviews where people said that the rod shipped broken. Well, that's not the rod's fault. It's probably just been banged around in shipping. I was looking at it. I wanted to get a 7-foot medium heavy, but they didn't have it. All they had were spinning rods. So, and then the other bad reviews on those were people said that a couple people said they broke really easily, and about 80% of those people that said they broke really easily said it was kind of their fault. They just couldn't believe how easily it broke. When they stepped on it or whatever. Well, of course, you step on it, you're gonna break it. And then there was one review where a guy said he set the hook on a fish and it just broke on him at the joint. So, but this one I think I'm looking forward to. I think it's going to give me a little bit more backbone. Obviously, need to do a better job on my hook sets in most cases. And, I think sometimes, if you're fishing a jig or a swim bait, the fish will grab it and they'll be swimming at you. And, in some cases, you just can't really get a perfect hook set. So, I probably will still do most of my jig fishing off of my 7.6 medium heavy because it's got the most backbone out of all my rods. I do have an all-star that's pretty stiff, so I don't know. We'll see. Just depends on what I'm throwing that day and what I've got tied on. But I went ahead and went with this. I feel like it's going to give me some versatility. It's fast enough on the end where I can do some other things with it, but enough backbone to set the hook on a fish and make it count and put him in the boat. So that's where we're at. That's what we got for $50. It actually ended up coming out to about $63 because that's how you break a rod. Luckily, we didn't break nothing. It ended up coming out to $63 because I bought the $8.99 warranty for the Bass Pro rod in case I do something like that and shatter it into 12 pieces. But yeah, hopefully they look like they're still together. So that's what I got for $50 today. It doesn't look like much, but I figure I got a rod, 2 crankbaits, and some line. I think that's pretty good. So tell me what you guys think. See ya.